You're going to talk about the possibility.
All right, everyone. We are here, Final Four. I'm gonna bring someone in because there's a high possibility, fingers crossed because I want to see it, of fire making, and no one is more equipped to talk about that than our very own Dragonfire Beth from last season. So Beth, talk about fire making. How did you get fire making on the board for you?
Well, as I don't know if you can tell, right there, sorry. But it's a little windy today, and it was even windy before when they were doing the fire making challenge. So just one thing would be to like compensate for that by moving the pile. You know, you try and make your pile in the center right under the rope, but sometimes the flame's not going up right above the fire. So that could be something, but they both, like, it depends who makes it there, who would have to.
You're breathing? Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah, and then
how
you
did
just
you
breathe.
convince Shauna and Bash and Devonta? How did you convince them to go to fire making?
I didn't. I thought we were going to vote someone out, and then Sebastian decided to be Sebastian and do his thing. So but I would not have had it anyway. It was other way. It was really fun. And it would be fun to see if it happens today.
That's true.
And we could have a good showdown.
And it might be a rematch if KP and Ned were like, let's do a rematch.
They both got flames really quickly during the other challenge.
I want to rematch fire making. If they both pitched that, like, let's rematch it. But
and then you just breathe on it.
Queen. All right, here we go. I know she is a star. Love her.
Jerry? So Leah, where's this group of four at right now? Is it a vote already set, or is there still some work to be done before you got here?
I think we're very proud of all four of us for making it to this point. First of all, I don't think any of us thought, I feel like everyone said that, but none of us thought it would be at least these four at the Final Four. I do think there was obviously still some scrambling going on. We're all really exhausted and just trying to push through, but there was definitely still some talking.
What was your take, KP?
My take is, they're picking and choosing their final twos. And I think everyone's picking and choosing their final two. If I'm on jury, I know that if Ned makes it to final two, I will vote for him. He's incredibly good at challenges. He has been really wish-washy in the best way because it's been successful every time. And you can't beat a winner, and I think Ned's an extremely strong winner. So if we're all thinking about final twos, I hope people know that I will be voting for Ned.
Flattering words, Ned, but you don't necessarily want to hear him at this moment.
No, thanks for that, kid.
No worries.
It's mutual. It's mutual. Yeah, I'd love to hear that. And I don't know if that's entirely true either. I think that's words she's saying right now because we are obviously the two on the chopping block. So it's either going to be one of us or we'll go to fire. And I think similarly about KP. I think she has been on the right side of nearly every vote. She's been controlling nearly every vote. She has a way with words. She's just incredible at speaking and planting seeds in people's mind. And I would be afraid to go up against her in the final two. So I hope you take that as a compliment too.
I do. Fuck you.
Wow.
Okay.
That didn't seem like you were necessarily buying into what Ned was saying there. You have a different thought on that?
KP has not been on the right side of every vote.
I said almost.
Nope,
Okay.
nope, nope. There's a few. I got some ants on my board.
There's one?
You're next.
Oh, two. One was rocks. Oh, well, no, you were one of the two.
And then Dan.
Okay, well, we were all on the wrong side of that
So Declan, what's your thought in terms of, you're in the final three right now. So are you trying to steer among this group and saying, I kind of know who I want to be with at the end, but we already announced final two. Is there a preference for you as who's final three?
Of course. I know pretty clearly what I think is the best move for me, certainly, and I think the best move for two of the other people sitting here with me, and it can't be the best move for all four of us. And I also know that I'm not afraid to next anybody.
Anything else you need to talk about? All right, let's get to it.
Alright, so, John came up to us with final two, actually, like, right at the beginning of Merge. He told them, which was unusual, because usually, like, my season, they were sitting there thinking they were going to a final three after this vote, and then they found out there was another challenge. So, John letting them know it was a final two well before, so yeah. Let's see. That seemed, I mean, KP went for Ned's throat, and Ned countered, but then Declan seemed to counter Ned's counter, so
I think it's going to fire.
I fire remake, baby.
I think right now Declan sees Ned as his biggest, as their biggest threat to win.
Yeah.
And like Declan, I think very clearly he's like, I will win immunity if Ned isn't here. If Ned's here, I might not win because they've been neck and neck every challenge. So Declan's like, if I can knock Ned out here, like this game's mine basically. And I don't know if Declan's wrong.
No, I don't think so either.
But yeah, what were you sorry?
No, I was just saying I clearly see the divide there, and I think it's very interesting. And Declan is sitting pretty, you know, without Leah is very quiet.
I'm worried that I think, from my perception, I think to add to Kaylu's comment here, I think it would be a really tight race between KP, Declan, and Ned. I think all of them have things that they've been like kind of advocating for. I'm worried about Leah's chances, not because I don't think Leah's played a good game. I think she, from what she said, it seems like she's relying a lot on FTC to advocate for that game, and I'm worried that it's going to be too late because of a preset perception from way back in Dodgy Subjects. I think she needed to start doing things more vocally earlier because it's hard to change someone's opinion once they already have it. But that's not to say she's playing a bad game.
I agree. I think Leah has been more in the right side of the votes, but it's because it's a collective, not because she's driving it. And so just because you're there and aware doesn't make you a key player of that move.
But it's also something to be said that like you're constantly in the majority. Is Leah voting wrong ever? Like I don't really think she is.
She also hasn't had her name written down.
Like to be someone that people trust to say, I trust you enough to keep you in this vote, like that's big. And I think it's really gonna come down to how she says that, how she communicates it, if she makes it to FTC.
Correct. As we have not figured out how to put pie charts up on here, so fortunately not in the cards. I'm gonna see where we're at. Ned's voting now, so yeah, I agree. It is hard to change people's minds sometimes in Final Tribal, but I will say, going into our Final Tribals on Council, not a lot of people's minds were set. If you have a good way with words and you've got a good grasp on the game, you can convince some people at Final Tribal and give them votes. So, following order of win, equity, out of the Final Four. I think it's gonna be hard, because I definitely think it's gonna be, I mean, KP seems very aware that they were not on the right side of the votes for a lot of things, but they also seem very aware of the game, and so I think if they're aware of the game, so we'll see. Fire making, maybe throw some fire up in the comments for fire making.
Ned. Ned. Ned, that's 3. Enough.
Sorry.
You're good, Ned.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Our final 3. One more person to make jury, and then we have our final 2.
Okay, Cocoa Puffs.
Okay, I know.
First tribe down to 2 people.
That's crazy.
It's good to be in losing tribe. I'm gonna say it.
Maybe they planned it all along. Maybe this was their diabolical plan.
Maybe Declan did say in one confessional very early in the game that they threw one of the challenges early on in the tribe stage. Maybe they did. I didn't believe them. Maybe they did.
All right. We're going to get to the challenge field because, ooh, we are so close we can taste the finish line. Thank you all for tuning in. Stay close to your computers, like, share, all the fun, and we'll see you soon.